And the big thing to learn from this is as well, if you can't come on a Zoom call and speak and ask a question, what are you going to do when you're playing in the Champions League after the game and you've got a camera in your face wanting to speak to you? So, and I'm looking for the players. I'm happy for mums and dads to drop in as well. Maybe you'll have your day in the light as well. You might get to be on in the Champions League final or something. So, as a proud parent, so mums and dads as well, feel free if you want to jump in. Also, just to clarify, guys, this is about Triple P, professional player pathway, being on the program, and all the questions are for people who are on the full-time program. If you are part of our school community, you're welcome to join in and listen and watch, but you're not. Obviously, we're going to hold the questions for anyone who's on the Triple P. Also, if anyone's got any questions relating to the tours and trials, we want you to drop that within the school community and we will get back to you via the school community. So we wanted to make sure it stays focused on the players who are on the Triple P program and enable you guys to get some successes. So I'll just put you on mute. I'm just going to put me on mute for a moment. Bear with us and I'll be back with you in a few seconds. Okay, guys, so we'll get to it. I think most people are in, and I think what we're going to find is now that we're doing more regular meetings every week, probably we won't have as many numbers in the room as well. So we've got about 12 or 13 at the moment, which is great. So that means if you've got a question, I will try my best to get through them. What I will say to you is if we have a heap of questions on a call each week and I don't get to you, if you copy and paste that question into the community, the school community, I promise you will get a video, record a video back from me within 48 hours so you won't miss out. The lesson to learn with this is get in early, get logged in and get your question in. And what I mean by the question in, I basically mean just say you want to ask a question and I'll go through the list in order. So I'll have a little look, see if we've got any questions in here. Jake Watson, Roddy, can't stay. Hope you're well, Jake. Okay, that's all good, mate. So first one I've got in is Xavier. Xavier, do you want to ask a question?
Nah, I was just saying hello.
Oh, that's okay, mate. No worries. Well, thanks for that. I'll move on to the next one. I hope you're well, Xavier.
And you too.
Okay, next one I'm looking at is from Dan H. So in regards to the residential camp, we are going to send an update and we're going to give you a live update on our next meeting, which is a week Saturday. Now, if you don't join our meeting a week on Saturday, we will put that communication out. The reason, without going into too much information, the venue we had booked has been cancelled on us because we had issues with the previous place we were in. Plus, we had over $20,000 worth of equipment stolen from this venue, and we're still dealing with the police and the previous coach and coaches who were working for us. So that's a little bit of a messy one. I don't want to take everyone through, but we will give you the full update. Everything's looking a-okay, but I want to make sure when I give you the information, it's all locked in, it's all loaded, and it's even got the venues and that. So we will come back to you on that one. Now,
Sorry, Ray, just to jump in quick. Thanks for that. Just to finalize, it's definitely going ahead because we're traveling interstate, and one of the things we wanted to do was to possibly bookend the camp with an extra day with the accommodation that you'll be putting us in. Is that something that's going to be possible or not?
yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'll need to check with my tours team and with the office staff, but I would say 99% should be fine. No issues. Even if I have to put you up in my house, I've got two spare bedrooms. We'll work it out.
Okay.
But yeah, just leave it with me, and I promise what I'll do is if I get any notification earlier before next Saturday, I'll just flick you a little DM in school just to say this is the go.
Okay.
But I just don't want to over promise and then under deliver to you. I want to make sure I get the right info for you by a week Saturday.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's just also with work and things, got to put in leave, right? So I just want to make
Ah,
sure that if it's going ahead, that's fine. I can book it in. If
yeah,
not, then I can not put it in, right? So I don't want to
yeah,
give
no,
work not too much unnotice.
yeah. Look, it's 99.9%. Unless I have another heart attack or something and die, it's happening. But I just want to make sure when I say it's happening, I want to make sure to give you the venue, the dates, the times,
Okay.
and give you the itinerary.
All
Yeah.
right. Fantastic. Thanks, Ray.
Cheers, Dan. Thanks, mate. Northern Wales, again, I don't want to go back through this. So originally what we done was we said we were looking to cancel indefinitely because we didn't think we could get a venue, but it looks like we've got another venue in Brisbane. One of the big things, Norm, is that I will only run these camps and residentials if we've got an indoor venue and it's covered because I'm not a big fan of having the players out in the summer heat and sun. Also, a lot of the learnings and teachings, we want to do it on an indoor or covered area for many, many, many reasons because we're going to do test and GPS test and sprint and acceleration, deceleration. So we need that. So, Norm, apologies, but we've done that just to protect you guys as well. But we will get that out to you by a week Saturday. And what we're going to do is for anyone who has cancelled or was looking to come but they wasn't sure, we're going to open it up to make sure it's a good offer and opportunity for any of our Triple P players with a little bit of a discount as well. And anyone who has paid, we'll work that out with everyone. We've got a couple of special things lined up. All right, now I've got no other questions in the chat. So if anyone wants to ask a question, this is what it's for, guys. I do not want to jump off early because no one's asking questions. So it may be something little, it may be something big, but drop your name in the chat and I'll invite you to come on. But I really want you guys to drive these meetings. Is there something in particular on school that you're struggling with and you're like, Ray, it's still a basket case. We still don't get it or understand it. This is your opportunity to really reach out. Even if, well, you want to come on and tell me, you want to share the success for everyone. Maybe you've got better at your passing, you've noticed by using this type of hydration or water. If you want to share, it doesn't always have to be a problem as well. I'd love people to come on and share something or share a success as well. So if anyone's comfortable or confident in coming on, it'll be good. I will obviously stay on for as long as possible, but if I don't get any questions or anything you need help with, then I will drop off in 5 or 10 minutes. But I don't want to. I'm here for you guys for the 45 minutes to 50 minutes to go through the questions, which is. So has anyone got any questions for me? Anyone wants to hop on and ask anything? All right, I've got one in. Khaleesi has just completed their objectives. What do we do next to keep working on them, etc.? So that's a great question. So what I will do is I'll go over this one and I'll explain it. So this is a great question for us. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen and I will open up school. And I've got school open ready here. So with our objectives, guys, if we do our objectives, you will notice that based on your objectives, let's say we're talking about an outfield player and you've got your 5 objectives that you're working through. So you've got scanning, distribution, movement, securing the ball, world-class pass. Now, if that particular player, so like Khaleesi's done to 85% 3 times in a row and has cycled all the way through. The next thing we want you to do now is to go back through and redo them to 90%. And again, cycle all the way back through. So do scanning, distribution, movement, secure ball, world-class pass. Then you probably get the gist of this one. If you do 90%, then you go back through 95% and so on. So that's the best thing you can do is to just keep cycling through because these 5 key objectives, and if anyone watched it the other day, if anyone did actually watch it, can you leave a little comment in the chat? But did you watch the podcast that I done with Brian Hookway from Leicester City? And one of the things we spoke about the other day, now, if you didn't see that, if you click on community and if you go to, I think, where did I put it now? I think it was under Triple P. So I think it was on this one. Yeah, this one. So if you have a look at this one, guys, I've done a podcast with probably one of the biggest and best youth development coaches, Brian Hookway. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, there's a little 1 minute video here, but you'll notice at the bottom, I've put the link to the actual video that you can watch, and you can watch this video. Now, Brian actually spoke about in that talk about scanning and the importance of scanning. And the only way you're going to get good at your 5 objectives is by rinsing and repeating and getting consistent at them. And for me, that's the best thing you can do. Now, it might feel mundane, but unfortunately, it's doing the mundane jobs over and over again is going to make you a world-class player. And believe you me, not many people believe me when I say it, but I keep talking about it. Jude Bellingham, when he was down the road at Birmingham City at 10 years of age, 11 years of age, there's all these rumours that he was a standout superstar and he was playing in the under 15s at 10. He wasn't. He was in the middle to the bottom of the group. He struggled physically. He was like Bambi on ice. He used to fall everywhere. His running stride and pattern wasn't that great. And he was a prime example of just persistent. The difference with Jude was he got that specialised E-Triple-P project around him with his mum and dad supporting him and his brother. And that's why he got so good, because he was doing his objectives every day on top of doing his club training at Birmingham City. And what you've got to understand is at Birmingham City is a CAF 3 club. So you've got Category 1 all the way down to CAF 5. And it's based on a lot of different requirements to what category and grade you are. But Cat 1 is clubs like Liverpool, Man City. Those clubs, including Leicester City, with the Category 1 club, we would wipe the floor with the likes of Birmingham City, like 10, 11-0. But that's, again, not an indicator that you've got all superstars in your team. It might just mean that we had a lot of physically bigger and stronger kids in the team, and we did at the time. So, great question. I love that one from Khaleesi and his parents. So basically, keep following your objectives. That is the best way to go. And again, if you haven't watched it, watch this with Brian Hookway, probably one of the most connected people on the planet in the football world. And we're going to have an opportunity to hook up with Brian. And Brian's going to be joining us as a surprise on one of the future calls in the next couple of weeks. Again, I'm not going to let you know when we've got special guests on anymore, because I don't want people just to join us when we've got special guests. I want you to join us all the time if it's possible. And that way you get to come in and maybe ask him a question. So in the next 2 to 3, 4 weeks, Brian's going to be joining us on the Zoom call and you'll get to ask him questions directly. All right, let's have a little look just to see if we've got any more questions in here. Hopefully we've got a couple in. Okay, one of the other questions we got from Norm was around, is it okay to be working on all the objectives at once? No. This is a great question, Norm. Thanks, mate. This is an amazing one. I'll explain why. When we done the big project, the Triple P with the Premier League, what we discovered was one of the blockers, and we were really good at doing this in 2010 and 11. We were overloading the players with too much information. So we were trying to get players to play 4-3-3. We were trying to get them to focus on transition from defence to attack. We were trying to get them to focus on transition from attack to defence. We were trying to get them to focus on position specific. We were trying to get them to focus on possession. We were trying to get them to focus on scanning. And what we discovered was we were just giving these players who are 10 to 18 years of age too much information to process and not allowing the body just to respond naturally and respond like muscle memory. What we actually discovered works the best is focusing on one area, one objective. Now, that doesn't mean if you're focusing on pass completion, it doesn't mean that you're not focused on defending or scanning. Of course you are. But what we want you to do on this pro player pathway, guys, if you're currently on scanning and you're at 85%, you've already completed it, but you're now trying to get to 90, just work on scanning. Now, what I will say to you is, if you're a young player or you're a player who's struggling to get to 85%, I'm more than happy for you to pause that one and move to the next objective. But also what I don't want you to do is do a week of scanning, then a week of passing, I want you to really give one objective a go for 6 to 8 weeks minimum and really just bed a little bit of learning. And for me, as long as you know you're going from 60 to 70% and then 75, but then you're hitting a bit of a brick wall, that's okay to give scanning a break and then go to the next one. I get that completely. Make a note of what you've scored your last scanning at, and then we move on to the next objective. So that's one of the big things that I want you to focus on. So great question, Norm. Make sure we stick to one objective and just consistently work through it until we complete it if we can. Okay, let's have a look, see if there's any more questions. So guys, if you've got a question, can you drop them in? Can you unmute yourself, come on the screen and ask me a question? Even if you've got a bit of a success story you want to share with us, it might be that you have completed all your objectives or you've completed one of them and that you were struggling with it, but now you've got through it. Maybe you've got over an injury. So guys, please feel free to unmute yourself and come on and ask me a question. Also, if anyone's got any problems with school, navigating it, you want clarification on something, please feel free to ask, guys. So, guys, again, we're not going to utilize this for tours really or camps. We're going to save that. So, any tours or camp questions, drop that into there. I want to try and keep this consistent that it's triple P and it's for the full-time program and players if we can. Xavier, unmute yourself.
Yep.
All right, so go on, share your success story to everyone. I love this one.
So over the holidays, I went to the Perth Glory FC academy trials, and out of 350 kids who trialed in my age group, only about 30 or 40 got picked, and I was in it, and I'm in the Perth Glory Academy now.
That's amazing, guys. I think we'll all congratulate you on that one, Xavier. So just remind everyone, how old are you?
I'm 11 turning 12.
That's fantastic. So before you were playing for Perth Glory, where was you playing before that? Was you playing like SAP or what was you playing?
I was playing for Melville.
Melville. And what's like the league or the division called that they play in Perth?
I think it was like we have a green team and then there's
Yeah,
blue team. So I was playing in the green team for them.
amazing. Now, what's the level like going from playing in community football going to Perth Glory? Is the level better, stronger?
Yeah, it's much stronger in Perth Glory, very high intensity, and yeah, just getting a good majority of physical and just good stuff in the training sessions.
Now, thinking about the Pro Player Pathway program and all your objectives, do you think that helped you get to Perth Glory?
Yeah, I definitely think that helped me to get where I am now. So yeah.
So we've gone from a community team to then Perth Glory. What's the next step, Man City?
Yeah.
Well done, Xavier. I'll get you to unmute yourself, mate, and we'll get into
Yeah.
the next question because we've got a couple coming in now. Thanks, Xavier. So we've got a question from, I think it was Shooty. Shooty, can you unmute yourself and ask the question? Look at him, he's shocked. He's like, I'm not doing that. Come on.
Hi.
Hi, mate. How are you?
Good, how are you?
So do you want to tell everyone what your question is?
I was wondering what should I focus on improving during this off season?
Brilliant, mate. What is your focus on? Do you want to unmute that for me? Or sorry, mute yourself again. Brilliant. So that's a great question. So I'll answer that one. So what should you be doing in the off season? So I will take you back to my screen and I'll just share my screen again. And I will show you on here. So remember we've got on here, if you click on our search on the community, we should be able to see Uh, how many hours? So how many hours do I need to make it pro? So the first thing I'll guide you back to is this video, this 16-minute video. The problem that you've got is in the off season, a lot of yous will stop playing for club teams, and some of yous will play like academy in the summer. Some of yous won't play any football at all. So this is a major concern. What you need to do is you need to map your hours first. So make sure, you're doing things like futsal, indoor soccer, outdoor soccer, 5-a-side, 6-a-side. Try and pick up some summer games. So that's a great way of picking up more hours. If you are, 15, 16 years of age and you're a boy or a girl, maybe look to see if you can do some pickup games in mixed comps or adult comps. That's a great way of getting yourself developed. Once you've watched this video and you've looked at how many hours you need to do, if you still think you've got a deficit of hours, if you go back into the classroom, so if we go back into this side here, so if we go classroom, okay, the first thing that you should be looking at is your football mental strength training. Now, doing your studies on here counts towards your non-football, even though you're studying football. But also, you need to have a look at things like your football blueprint. So that's number 6, section 6. And the big one I would say, guys, is you should be looking at section 10. So if you go into the dugout, if you have a little look at one-on-one EPL sessions, we have got, I think it's 9 sessions in there. I would look to rinse and repeat a lot of these sessions. So maybe one touch scan and move would be a Monday session. Scanning and fast feet might be a Tuesday session. Now you'll notice on some of these videos, they might have coaches with them or players with them. Go out with a teammate, go out with a friend, and try and follow through on these particular videos and skills and tricks. And if you don't maybe have a particular type of equipment, you don't have maybe the kickboards, remember guys, use your initiative. Go down to the local outdoor netball centre, kick it off the boards on the wall. There's different ways you can do it. And one of the big things I would encourage you as well, it doesn't always have to be on the grass. Put a pair of runners or trainers or futsal shoes on, go inside the futsal court, go on the concrete against the wall, take it back to street football, take it back to the original roots. It doesn't have to be, a $2 million 4G football pitch with great goals and nets. Some of the best players learned playing on the streets, playing in the favelas in South America and Brazil. So you need to just not put roadblocks in the way because you think maybe you don't have a piece of equipment. Try and go through some of these sessions and have a little look. So again, if you're not sure where they are, go to classroom. Number 6, the football blueprint. Number 7, football mental strength. And the big one is number 10. And then you've got multiple sessions in here that you can go through. Also, guys, as well, watching some of these videos can go down as your non-football time as well, just to upskill yourself and educate yourself. So that's a great question. Thank you for that question, guys. I'll have a little look to see if we've got any more questions in here. I'll stop the share for the moment. Okay, how many times do you recommend going to the gym per week? So that goes back to that question that I've just answered. So if you ascertain that you are 14 years of age, let's say you're 9 years of age, to make it simple for everyone. If you're 9, you need to do 10 hours a week. Of those 10 hours, 7 hours is football only, and the other 3 hours is non-football. So the non-football hours is things like gym, football mental strength training, swimming, bike rides, going on a walk, going on a recovery run. Those things, playing tennis, playing basketball with your mates, they're non-football items. Gym is included in there. So if you go to the gym 3-4 times a week for at least an hour, you're probably doing enough non-football hours by just going to the gym. So that's going to help you build up your strength, your endurance, but also just remember for those younger players or anyone who's under 15, under 14, gym's not necessarily a good thing for you guys, and you've got to be careful going into gyms and definitely not doing things like free weights and stuff. You need to make sure you get mum and dads, but also really a physician's approval to be going into gyms and lifting weights and stuff. But once you go post maturation and what we call puberty, once you come out the other end and you're growing really big, once you're 16, 17, then gym work is 100% needed, which means strength training. But again, you need to make sure your program is designed by a strength and conditioning coach or a PT in a gym, and explain to them that you are a football or soccer player. Two great questions there, guys. We haven't got any more questions in there, guys. So if anyone wants to, again, unmute yourself, ask a question. If you want to drop a question in, I'll then get you to come on anyway. So don't be scared, guys. If you've got a burning question, just ask it. And yeah, I can try the best to answer it for you. All right, guys. Well, look, what I'm going to do is hey, so Marlon, I'll get you to come on the camera for me and say hello to everyone and ask the question. So you'll have to unmute yourself, Marlon. There you go. I can't hear you, mate. You haven't got have you got your microphone on? Try it once more. If not, I'll read the question out for you. I think he's tricking us and he doesn't want to talk to us. Try again. No, it's not working. I'll basically read out his question. So he said, is there any area in the classroom where it shows the best gym exercises to do for each part of the body? No, we don't have any of that in there, quite simply because that's not really our area of expertise, is the gym work, things like strength training or even training without weights and stuff. That's like, you really need to get that from a PT, maybe if you've got a PT at school. What you can do is, as well, with your mum and dad's permission, there's a great way you can do it. You can use ChatGPT. And I did see a guy on YouTube last week, and he built a program, and it was one of the best football strength training programs in the world. And this particular player had it built for him, who was a Premier League star, and it cost about £30,000 for the program. ChatGPT produced the same program for free. So don't be scared. If you are under the age of 16, you need to make sure any strength training programs you do, and mum and dad have given you permission to do it. I will never endorse you to do strength training, especially with free weights, unless mums and dads and PTs have approved it. But once you get to 15, 16 and older, as I said, strength training is definitely super important. Marlon, what I will give you though as well, and this is for everyone, there is something, and I'll put it in the chat for everyone. I'll drop it in as a message, but we have something called plyometrics. And if you guys have a little look at plyometrics, I've put it in the chat. So if you want to get the correct spelling, if you guys Google some plyometrics exercises for 9 and 10-year-olds, you don't even have to state that you're a soccer or football player. Just put plyometrics for 9 and 10s, or if you're 15, and this is a great one again, if you can use ChatGPT. Now, plyometrics are great exercises to help you increase your muscle mass, acceleration in your muscles, deceleration in your muscles, and you will get a great response from doing some plyometrics. That's one thing that I probably will start to look to add in, will be some of the plyometric stuff for everyone to start utilizing and using. So that's a great question. Now, what I'll do is, while I wait for a few more questions, we did have a couple of competitions running, and I'm just wondering, have we got Elijah Johnson? Is Elijah Johnson with us today? Let me have a look. Oh, that's a shame. Elijah Johnson's not with us, but I don't know if anyone noticed on the school community. We asked a question about Ange Postecoglou getting sacked by Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, and was it fair or was it not fair? I'll just see if I can pull that question, that answer up. So bear with me a second, and I'll share my screen. I want to share Elijah's answer. It was a great answer. Back with everyone. So I'll just see if I can find this one. So if I just go into community, and if I just search, I think it's Elijah. There we go. So why was Ange Postecoglou sacked? If you haven't seen this video, it's a short video for 9 minutes. It's worth a watch. And there was some great answers. Mitchell, Parker, Cooper, but Elijah put poor results, poor management. He came into a club where the fans like what the previous manager did with the team, and Ange tried to change too much too soon. He wasn't going to adapt to the team or the environment. That's nature. I'll share something with you guys. I actually know someone who actually works at Nottingham Forest. And what they did tell me about Ange Postecoglou was he was an amazing person, super good guy with all the players and the staff. But what he done was he come in a nice way and told everyone it's now his way or the highway. And we're not doing what we've done with previous coaches. We're following my system. A lesson to learn from that one, I think, for Ange, is that you can't make too many changes too quick. You can introduce changes. So whether you're a player and you want to make drastic changes to your game, my advice would be just make a subtle change every 6 to 8 weeks. So I think we spoke about this with the objectives as well. So I said, I don't want you to follow 5 objectives at once. For quite simple, the best way you learn is by doing stuff in bite-sized chunks. Now, I think if Ange Postecoglou would have made some subtle changes every couple of weeks, gradually his methods and methodologies would have been in place in 6 to 12 months anyway. And unfortunately, he lost the dressing room within about 4 weeks. Now, there was a similar incident recently at Liverpool Football Club with Arne Slot, losing 4 Premier League games in the bounce. And what we were doing was we tried to integrate 5 or 6 new players into the starting lineup. Now, everyone will remember the first 7 games, Liverpool won all the games, but they got very lucky in games, scoring last-minute winners, extra time winners. And unfortunately, that looked like it was always going to happen and other teams were going to get onto it. Now, what you noticed from Aston Villa last weekend, now bear in mind, Aston Villa have just beaten Man City 1-0. Aston Villa are no mugs. They are a very, very well-drilled and an amazing team under Unai Emery. Now, what Liverpool done at the weekend, they went back to 9 players from last season in the starting team. So they went back to a more consistent lineup, following the same methodologies from last year. The only 2 changes that they done was Mamadashvili in goal because Alisson Becker's out injured, and Hugo Ekitike was in, but obviously Diaz, who's now at Bayern Munich. So it's a great lesson to learn for all of you, whether you're a player, a coach, a mum or a dad. When you're making changes, the best way to do it is make subtle, small changes. Don't make big overnight changes because it will disrupt and upset. And it's a great, great lesson to learn. So Elijah's not with us tonight, but Elijah's actually won a special prize pack, and I'm gonna share it with you all. And maybe some of you guys have seen it, and maybe you haven't seen it. But one of our new partnered companies, Goats Elite. Now, Elijah's actually won a prize pack with Goats. So the package that he's actually won is what we call our ultimate combo, which is our shin guards, socks, and a copy of the book as well. So Elijah's actually won a copy of that. If you guys haven't seen this website, you can see the web name at the top. It's goatselite.com. Now, what I am going to do today is I'm going to give a prize pack away to one of you. And every week when you're on, I'm going to give a prize pack to someone new. But we're going to have a bit of a competition. And this is how you can win it. So get ready, get your keyboards ready. Whoever gets the answer incorrect will win a Goats prize pack. I will get it sent out to you. But the deal is, I want you to do a little small review. I want you to tell me how good, how bad the shin guards are, how good or bad the socks are. And one of the other things I'm going to throw in for you guys as well, these are phenomenal. We've got the goat's nasal strips, which allow you to breathe easier when you're playing and training. Now, if you don't know, players in the Premier League use these 3 times a week in training sessions to open the airways. So we're going to give you a set of these. And also, because I'm feeling really generous tonight, we're also going to give you our latest slides as well. Now, these things are phenomenal. I've got a pair of these at home, and they are exact same as the Nikes, and they are super, super comfortable. So if you want to win one of the GOATS prize packages for me, type in the word GOATS for me as fast as you can. And let's see who got in there first with the chat. So, oh, that was fast. Right. Dan H, congratulations, mate. You won our first prize pack. And I'm going to be super nice because Norm Wales, you were second. I'm going to give you one as well. And Liz, I'm going to give you one as well. So I'm going to give 3 of you a prize package. So Dan H, Norm Wales, and Liz, can you do me a big favour? In the school community, when we jump off this call, just drop me a DM and say, Ray, I won the GOATS prize pack. I'll tell you the instructions on how you can order the prize pack. And yeah, I will. Now we've got lots of new stuff coming on this site as well. And one of the big things that we're going to do is we're going to announce we've had 7 players graduate through the Triple P program, and they're now playing football in the UK and Europe. Now, if that's you in the future, we're going to sponsor players for up to $10,000 a year through GOATS. So if you're going to be one of them players in the future, our GOATS partner product will sponsor you for $10,000 a year. Now, also, we've got some exciting news as well, but in the not too near future, there's going to be 3 players currently playing in the Premier League who are going to be sponsored by GOATS, and they're going to start to wear the GOAT shin guards and socks in Premier League games. So you're going to start to see GOATS all over the Premier League. So a big congratulations to those 3 families who just won the GOATS prize pack. Well done for getting in first. I did notice some of you spelt it with an E and an S and with an S. Remember, guys, it's GOATZ, GOATS. Final little one that I'm just going to speak to you about as well was the competition time in regards to this particular video. So I'm just going to go back to school and I'll see if I can pull this video up quickly before we all go. Let me see if I can find this. I'll just go back to the community really quickly. Okay, so if everyone's seen this video that we played, and I'll just play it back for everyone to watch again. This was Hugo Ekitike for Liverpool. So is Ekitike's first touch the best touch, the second touch, or is it the third touch? So what I want you to do, guys, very quickly, just in the chat, can you just put in, was his first touch the best, the second touch, or his third touch? And I might ask 1 or 2 of you to come online to explain why. So watch it again. Is it the first touch here, the second, or the third touch? Put it in the chat for me, and I'm going to ask 1 or 2 of you just to jump in and explain it for me. So I'm just going to stop the share, and I'll just have a quick look in the chat. Okay, I think it's, let me see, Norm Wales, second touch. So, Norm, can you unmute yourself and come on the camera for us?
Hi, Ray. This is a bit
Hey guys, how are we?
good, good.
Thank you.
So do you want to explain to me why you believe it was the second touch and tell everyone why you think it was?
I think it was the second touch because he cuts in front of the keeper and then he scores.
So when it cuts in front of the defender.
Yeah.
I love that. So
Defender.
that touch takes him across the front of the defender. So if the defender tackles him there and he fouls him, what does it mean?
The penalty.
Yeah, or a free kick and a red card, which means that player's off. I'm just going to
Yeah.
have a look, see if anyone said anything different. Thanks for that, guys, for coming on. You can mute yourself again. Let me see. Right. Xavier, bring yourself on, my friend. Have we still got Xavier here?
Why is it first touch?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, mate, put your camera on, and I want you to tell us why it's the first touch.
The reason why it's the first touch is because it's like he does one step closer to the goal, and he also takes the defender on, which is like because the first touch is always like you need your first touch to be the best touch. Because if it's not, then he would have like not made the goal possible. So it's all about like the first touch.
Yeah. So that's a great answer, Xavier, and I'll confirm that I'm in the same camp as Xavier, and I'll explain to you why. You can put your mute back on, but thanks, mate.
No
So
worries.
the reason why, guys, and I agree with Xavier, and the reason why it's his first touch, and I'll show you it again. If you watch the video back and have a little look at this particular video, we'll see if we can get it on the big screen. If we watch it just in isolation, his first touch, he knows the defender's going towards him. So his first touch allows the defender to come across him. If his first touch would have took him slightly in front of the defender, it could have been a mistake. Now, admittedly, the second touch does mean he goes across the defender and allows him for the attacking. But I always go back to basics. One of the big problems we've got in football is we don't do the basics enough. I know a lot of players over the years who can score a goal, but they don't know how to do part A, part B, part C before you get in front of the goal. So the question I asked was, what is the most important touch in this phase of play? And why is it the most important part? And quite simple, it will always be the first touch, because if he doesn't get the weight or the direction correct on the first touch, the rest of the play is defunct. And as I said, over the years, we had a lot of boys at Leicester City, at Liverpool, at PSG, who could score a goal, take a penalty. And we always had these players who looked what we say were worldies in training. But when it comes to game intelligence, and what I mean by GI, it means in the game, is your game intelligence on point? Now, you can even see in this moment, he's took his first touch and he's scanning over to his right to see where the defender is. Now, he actually purposely played that ball to perfection as well, because what you don't see is if he plays that ball too hard, it's going to allow the keeper to come out as a defender. But what he's done is, as well, he's brought the goalkeeper to the edge of his 18-yard box, which then enables him, as the play rolls on, look at the angle that he's created. Because what we've done is we've affected the goalkeeper to go forward. Then the goalkeeper's gone, oh, panicked, and had to go backwards. And then he's come out on the angle. And then he's then created that angle to create the goal for himself. So a lot of the answers, second and third touch, are semi-right to a point. But for me, whether we're in Australia, the USA, Canada, in Europe, wherever you're based, the first touch is the most paramount touch. And if you don't get that first touch right here, it does not set up the rest of the play. So hopefully that explains that one. And that's a great one, Xavier. Thank you for explaining that one as well. So, guys, that is us. We are up. I don't believe we've got any more questions in there. So, again, a big congratulations to everyone who's won the prize packs. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make sure everyone gets a chance to win them. I want everyone on the program to get one for free. And then in return, I'll express post them for you at no charge. All I want you guys to do is I'll send you a little notification once they arrive. I'd love you to just give us a real review. Tell us what you think of them. Are they good? Are they bad? What are the good things about them? And also, if you can then share that video and even post it on your socials to help us make people aware that we're out there. And we've also got, finally, to finish off, I will share one more final thing with you. And I forgot nearly to share this with you. And I've just remembered because Xavier's just been in my head about trials. So I will just see if I can find this one little section for you guys. Sorry, hopefully this loads. So I believe if we go to latest news, now you'll notice here, we've got national trials happening. Now I'll share what these national trials are because I've already had a couple of questions. In December, we're coming to Sydney. So if you click on here, it will show you Sydney and it gives you an explainer of what's happening. Okay. We've got exactly the same in Melbourne, and we've also got the same in Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Now, what we're doing is we're actually hosting national trials. Now, what we're doing is we're looking for our pro player pathway superstar. So when we come on the 6th of December to Sydney, Melbourne is the 7th of December, and Brisbane is the 13th of December. We're going to be hosting national trials, and we're going to select one winner from each venue. And that means you will come with me in January 2027 to the Premier League, completely all expenses paid. So are you allowed to come and do the trials? 100%. Even if you're coming with us in April to trials or tour, you can come and try out and you could win. Okay. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you. It's a very, very high chance that you guys are going to win this if you're on the pro player pathway program, quite simply because you have got the edge on everyone. So I'll show you it again. If you go to the raymondswood.com, and then when you're in there, if you go to latest news, and then if you scroll, you'll see there's a little bit of information and you can register in Sydney, Melbourne, or Brisbane. It's really simple to sign up. If you sign up as well, you actually get one of the GOATS prize packs as well. So for signing up, you will actually get one of these GOATS prize packs as well for turning up. You'll get one of these completely free of charge as well. So if you've won one of these tonight and you're going to come to the trials in December, you can choose a different colour socks and shin guards as well. So you'll have a mixture of different ones. So these are going to happen on the 5th and 6th, sorry, the 6th and 7th in Sydney and Melbourne. Brisbane is the